One of the fun things about working with children is that you get to use a lot of very fun music. At the Musicologists, we like to collect folk music and use that folk music. I listened to one this weekend at TMEA that was an absolute blast, and I thought I would share it with those of you who are teaching pre-kindergarten and kindergartners. And the tune is called "Oh John the Rabbit." It's an old American folk song. The words are, "Oh John the Rabbit, yes ma'am, got a mighty habit, yes ma'am, jumping in my garden, yes ma'am, cutting down my cabbage, yes ma'am, my sweet potatoes, yes ma'am, my fresh tomatoes, yes ma'am, and if I live, yes ma'am, to see next fall, yes ma'am, I'm not gonna have, yes ma'am, no garden at all, yes ma'am." Now, unlike when we talk about working with kids who already know rhymes, we're talking about working with children who have no clue. They can't read, so they're going to respond to things that you give them that are repetitive. And in this case, that repetitive thing would be, of course, yes ma'am. Now you can do all kinds of things with that. You can use some sort of body motion. You would have patch and tap, tap and pat, that Kadai folks and the Orr folks both have used for years and years. Nice little quiet one, tapping together. We could even have, say, maybe one of the students with some sort of an instrument giving us, or maybe the teacher, that thing. "Oh John the Rabbit, yes ma'am, got a mighty habit, yes ma'am, jumping in my garden, yes ma'am, cutting down my cabbage, yes ma'am, my sweet potatoes, yes ma'am, my fresh tomatoes, yes ma'am, and if I live, yes ma'am, to see next fall, yes ma'am, I'm not gonna have, yes ma'am, no garden at all, yes ma'am." The idea there is that there's something repetitive that the students can hear and they can learn from. You can do a lot of things after they've done that. Once they've learned the whole thing, they can sing the whole thing with you. That's no problem. It's got a simple melody. So you can see that's just over and over. "Oh John the Rabbit, yes ma'am, got a mighty habit, yes ma'am, jumping in my garden, yes ma'am, cutting down my cabbage, yes ma'am, my sweet potatoes, yes ma'am, my fresh tomatoes, yes ma'am, and if I live, yes ma'am, to see next fall, yes ma'am, I'm not gonna have, yes ma'am, no garden at all, yes ma'am." So if you ask all of your students just to tap with you, not even to say the words, just to tap with you on yes ma'am. "Oh John the Rabbit, yes ma'am, got a mighty habit, yes ma'am, jumping in my garden, yes ma'am, cutting down my cabbage, yes ma'am, my sweet potatoes, yes ma'am, my fresh tomatoes, yes ma'am, and if I live, yes ma'am, to see next fall, yes ma'am, I'm not gonna have, yes ma'am, no garden at all, yes ma'am." And then back to here. Then you can explore with them. Well, what are some other things we could do? Dum ba da da dum bum 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 ba da da dum bum. Any one of the patchin things, any one of the body motions can do that. But perhaps the coolest, once they've got an idea of what's going on, and you have to have that internal thump thump going. You've got the beat going. Dum dum, dum dum, dum dum. Once you've got that, you can ask the students to move from one place to another. Let's say they're sitting at their desks and you want them to move to the circle. And that's what our guest had done to show us. And she had everybody stand up. All right, everybody stand. Now we're going to bunny hop together. "Oh John the Rabbit, hop hop." She didn't say hop hop, she said yes ma'am. Let me back that up. "Oh John the Rabbit, yes ma'am, got a mighty habit, yes ma'am, jumping in my garden, yes ma'am." Get the idea? And you can move from one place to another, and I gotta tell you, watching adult human beings in numbering in over 100 hop around until they sat down in their circle together was quite cute. But little kids will have an absolute blast doing something like that. What is it we're teaching them? We're teaching them to listen. we're teaching them to have that internalized beat. Then you can go, okay, can you clap it with me without saying it? Oh, John the rabbit, yes, ma'am. And when they can do that and actually do that, hearing each other and doing it together, you know you've really got the thing going right. And that's part of what we're looking for. It's a beginning. They're pre-kindergartners. Don't expect them to know it instantly. Don't expect them to get it the first time. But they will get it, and they'll have fun getting it.